All right, welcome to the third game of the evening in ToasterBall, a multiplayer sports game with toasters. ToasterBall is a multiplayer physics-based sports game, quick to learn and perfect for good old game nights on a couch with friends. One to four player, local multiplayer only. Um, because you are playing as toasters, you naturally expect some chaotic physics, random situations, electrical hazards, and more burnt toasts than you could ever imagine. I can imagine a lot of burnt toast, I'll be honest. There is no real learning curve. With pro moves and enough gameplay variance to keep you on your toes for hours. So I'm not gonna lie, this seems like one of those mean games we occasionally get.
It's a little bit more than that, but kinda.
All right. Yeah. So this game was handed off to the Galax for review. So over to him.
Well, the tutorial is on air, or on the screen, so that's helpful. You have an assortment of toasters and pretty much toasters to play as. And I'm going to tell you the principle of the game. The principle of the game is you're on a court. It's divided into two halves, but you can go into the opponent's half or whatever. You are a toaster with two levers, and you can control by pulling down one or the other lever, or both, and then releasing. Using this, you can jump, flip. There are a couple other things you can do. You can jump. You can actually jump again in air if you re-pull down your things before you hop in midair. You could theoretically do these to move around and gain control. Also, your team is assigned two pieces of toast. If you have two players, each of them starts with one piece of toast. You hit the launcher to start the ball in motion. Which the launcher rotates so you can choose which way to aim it. And then the ball will bounce back and forth. You have to either use the toast to block it and send it bouncing back, or jump and block it with your body. Also, if you hold the toast down for too long, it will burn. And if there's toast on the ground next to you, because if you launch it and then move, you get a prompt to use the A button to pick it up. So yeah, the principle, the ball is bouncing around. You're blocking it, or off of the toast, or yourself, or your teammate if you have one. This game is probably best played with a human opponent or two, or a group of four. Then you might actually have some control over what happens. The backside of each side of the game field is 3 bars, is a goal, but each goal has 3 segments stacked vertically. Each one has, by default, takes 3 hits to break, and then the ball can go through it. So, and whoever gets 5 points first wins the match. So that's the idea of the game as a game. Unfortunately, about half the time, unless you go into custom game, you're going to be playing with a goddamn rules variant that completely throws out up to about half of those rules. Most of the variants you don't even get toast. And I'm curious if they unlock at in a set order or what, because for a while I was unlocking a new variant every time a variant was rolled, but then there are something like 18 variants total, I think, but I never unlocked 4 of them.
24 is the number.
24. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because it's 3x8, not 3x6. Anyway, there were 4 of them that I never unlocked. Okay, so it's not, because Invisible was one of the later ones that I unlocked. So yeah, about every other ball, sometimes more often than that, is a rule variant which can completely change the rules. These are fairly common ones, but there's one that turns the floor into a conveyor belt that goes back and forth. And the side it's going towards is on fire, and if you hit the fire twice, you just die and lose the point. There's ones where the floor is dropping lava. There's ones where the ground is also made out of breakable panels that can mess with your aiming. There's this one. There's one where portals that I frankly would have been a little bit more careful around copyright with Valve appear in the floor and ceiling to drop things on opposite sides of the thing or hit the ball up through. And generally, with the amount of control you have over yourself and your toast, there's one where it kind of flattens out and goes into 2D Pong, and you can no longer move. Your only controls are shooting toast up to serve as a Pong paddle. There's one where there's an electric ray that shoots from the top. So some of these variants are fine, but them getting interspersed randomly through matches through balls in a game at least half the time does not seem constructive to like any kind of serious game. So if you wanted to do that, you'd have to use a custom game.
Okay, this is just straight up Portal.
I told you they were portals that I would have been more careful with the copyright thing for Valve.
No, I mean clearly Valve sanctioned this because those are companion cubes.
Well, they're weighted storage cubes. They don't have the heart on them, but yes.
Anyway.
And yeah, Valve either was okay with it or doesn't care for a game this small. Because yes, those are definitely portals. Yeah, this and the custom game you can select a variant, you can select any number of variants that you've unlocked, and then have it go through those variants in order, or have it go through them randomly. So you can just, if you want, have it to set only classic with no weird rules. And then that might actually be kind of skill-based, or one variant and have it only be kind of skill-based. You can also, ditch some of the more random ones. Obviously, this is intended to be a party game where some of the randomness is the fun, but I feel like it was to the extent where it was actually harming the play experience. Luckily, whether you win or lose doesn't matter a damn thing. The only thing that counts for unlocking is whether you've seen it. And I believe all of the toasters are mechanically identical, even if they're aesthetically different. There's in the main menu, there's a thing for athletes where you can see the friggin' profiles of all of the different toaster contestants. So yeah, I'm somewhat at a disadvantage because I did not have a chance to play this with a friend, so I was only playing it first against one computer and then against 2 computers with one computer as an ally.
Oh wow. The text on the toaster screen is broken on here.
Huh, it was not like that on the Switch version.
Unless it's just because of my resolution.
Maybe it is. But yeah, you can see the things, and you can one of them is a George Foreman grill with a toaster in the middle of them. One of them, I'm pretty sure, is supposed to be a cat litter box.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's not completely unfun, although I wouldn't recommend playing it single player. But it's kind of excessively random if you wanted to actually treat it as any kind of serious competition. I think the profiles are a little bit cute. I think red is always on the left and blue is always on the right, but you can make the team that you're playing as in single player whichever one you want. And also choose whether you're playing in the first or the front or the back position. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of cute. I don't recommend it single player. You want to play this with another person. And even then, there's probably still more just randomness than actually skill involved. But they're fairly true about that, I guess. Excuse me, it was a panini press, not a George Foreman grill. Although you can use a George Foreman grill as a panini press.
You can use anything as a panini press if you're willing to try hard enough.
I suppose that's probably true. So yeah, the soundtrack didn't make any significant. There are different maps that are just aesthetically different. There's only like 5 though, not a huge ton of variety. Yeah, I don't know what to say. There's not really a whole lot to it. So I guess what's the price? Because that'll make a significant difference in like whether this is worth trying for a larf, as it were.
I'm gonna say no to that because the price is $9.99.
Yeah, unless you really have some friends you think this would be a good way to fucking decide who does the chores this week with.
That's a very esoteric way to do that.
I mean, roommates have done stupider things.
I'm trying to come up with a reason why you'd want something this random.
I mean, that seems to be the entire premise for this game's existence. I mean, my question is why? Why does this exist? Why?
I don't know.
Like,
going for that After Dark Flying Toasters sponsorship, but they didn't quite make it, so they released it anyway.
I mean, that's a good as reason as any. Like, the thing is, only the developers can tell us that.
Like, it's not bad, but I don't think it's worth $10. It's like, this is like a $3 or $4 just fuck around for a little while with a friend game, maybe. Like, I feel like this would probably give you less entertainment than you could get out of a couple of decks of cards. Like, not bad, but
right.
I don't know. If you're the target audience for this, please tell me what the appeal is.
I don't think I'm not
Secretly,
exactly sure.
We've actually just triggered the World ToasterBall Championship to flood the chat.
Yeah. I'm like, I wanted to say this is for the Adult Swim set, but here's the thing. It's not quite random enough.
Yeah.
Like, we've gotten games where I could definitely go, okay, this is for people who watch Adult Swim, possibly anti-humor crowd. Like, this...
At least
this
Robot Unicorn Attack had a good soundtrack.
Right. This is, like, it's random, but it's played fairly straight-laced, if I'm being honest. Like, yeah, this is actual ToasterBall. There's not quite enough comedy infused. Or are they going for the classic random equals comedy? Like,
maybe.
Doing that, no, that is not comedy. Like, randomness is not inherently funny.
I mean, I feel like they are in fact trying to make actual jokes with the characters and stuff.
They're
But
trying.
again, even the actual toast mechanic is to pardon the phrase, kind of underbaked. Because you don't even have toast most of the time. And you lose it. You're likely to lose it if you move.
It's a mystery for the ages. That much is certain.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that about does it for ToasterBall here. Like, be sure to tune in after the break as we review Balance.